The Hollywood Unapologetic Podcast with Orlando Delbert, Filmmaking Essentials. Okay, let's unpack this. That incredible amount of groundwork that has to happen before any filming even starts.
Right.
We're talking about the blueprint, really, the detailed planning that can make or break a movie that's the whole world of pre-production.
Absolutely. It's foundational.
It's exactly where we're diving in today.
Think of it like prepping for a huge event, right? You wouldn't just show up and hope it all works out.
No way.
Pre-production is where you figure out every single detail, from the script breakdown to locations to scheduling. Miss a crucial step and, well, the whole thing could really fall apart.
Right. Now, we recently took a look at how artificial intelligence is starting to make waves in filmmaking generally.
Yeah, that was a good overview.
Specifically into that pre-production phase and exploring how AI tools are currently being used and, frankly, are still developing to assist filmmakers.
It's a fast-moving area.
Definitely. We've looked at discussions happening over on Reddit, in places like Sound Cinematography and our filmmakers.
Lots of chatter there.
People talking about AI for storyboarding, screenwriting, tools like Saga, ShayCreative.ai, Nolan AI, Mellies.
Screenwriter.com, Plot.ai too.
Yeah, exactly. And we've also drawn on insights from some articles like Disrupting Film Production on AI in budgeting and scheduling.
And how AI revolutionizes casting decisions.
Right. Plus some core principles from our own research.
Yeah.
And we're also bringing in perspectives from Orlando Delbert's book, Pollyanna's Tear-Soaked Battlefields of Hollywood.
Just a very practical viewpoint.
Very practical. Plus guides from Pixar on AI tools, Simon Rahala on character development. Quite a mix.
It really is. And what's fascinating here, I think, is seeing how these new tech tools are intersecting with the established ways of doing things in filmmaking.
Totally. Our mission today is really to give you a clear understanding of what pre-production actually is and where AI is starting to offer real help.
And maybe where it's, still got a ways to go.
Yeah.
Let's be realistic.
Exactly. Whether you're dreaming of making movies, or you work nearby the industry, or you're just fascinated by how it all works, understanding pre-production is, well, pretty crucial.
Mm-hmm.
We want to give you the essentials without getting totally bogged down in jargon.
Right. Let's keep it accessible.
So let's get started. What exactly is pre-production? Define it for us.
Okay, well, like we said, it's that essential planning phase. Before any cameras roll, this is where the groundwork is laid.
The groundwork.
Yeah. It's where the initial vision for the film starts to take real concrete shape, and all the practical stuff, the logistics of making it happen, get figured out.
So it's creative and practical.
Absolutely. They have to come together here.
Okay. And within that phase, there are a bunch of key elements, right? Things that have to get done.
Oh, definitely. You start with the script breakdown.
Which is?
Basically combing through the screenplay, identifying everything you'll need, props, costumes, locations, effects, actors, everything.
Okay. Then storyboarding.
Yep. Creating that visual roadmap, shot by shot, seeing how the film will look and flow. It's super important for the director and cinematographer.
Makes sense. Then you mentioned production boards and strips.
Right. Those are more visual tools, often physical boards or digital versions now, used to organize all the scenes from the script and start mapping out how you might actually shoot them. It helps build the schedule.
Gotcha. Leading to the actual production schedule.
Exactly. A really detailed timeline. It covers all the rest of pre-production, the entire shoot, sometimes even key post-production dates. It's the master plan for timing.
And the elephant in the room, budgeting.
Yeah. Can't avoid that one. Planning and allocating all the money. Every single penny needs a purpose.
Then finding the talent casting.
Right. Selecting the actors for all the roles. A huge piece of the puzzle.
And finding the actual places to film location scouting.
Which can be a massive job. Finding places that fit the script, look right, are practical to shoot in, getting permissions. It's a lot.
And all the other nuts and bolts.
Yeah, the general logistics. Arranging equipment rentals, hiring the crew, getting permits, insurance, travel, all that stuff that makes the production actually function day to day.
And overseeing all of this is the director's vision.
Oh, absolutely. That creative concept guides every single decision made during pre-production. It's the why behind all the what and how.
Okay, so that's a lot.
Yeah.
Let's bring AI into this picture. Where does it start? Ideation.
Yeah, that seems like a natural starting point. Pixar called it the fundamental building block, which feels right. This is where the first sparks of an idea happen.
And AI can help here.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
Tools are emerging that can help brainstorm, maybe generate initial concepts, or even just help you explore different angles on an idea.
Like a digital brainstorming partner.
Sort of, yeah. Pixera mentioned idnote.io specifically as a tool for like capturing, organizing, and prioritizing those early ideas.
Interesting. So for you listening, AI could potentially be like a creative jumpstart, right?
Yeah.
Help get past that blank page.
Exactly. Or just offer perspectives you hadn't considered.
Okay, so from ideas to visuals, storyboarding. This is where we saw those Reddit discussions really heating up.
Oh, yeah. Cinematography had a lot to say. There's definitely a bit of a debate happening.
What's the core tension?
Well, you have some folks, like User Agreeable Credit 994, seeing AI as a huge potential time and money saver. Storyboard artists cost money. AI could give you instant visuals, basically.
Makes sense for indie filmmakers, maybe?
Potentially. But then you have others like Do Worry 298 pushing back, saying, look, a storyboard isn't just a picture of the script. There's artistry, communication, conveying the director's intent.
Nuance.
Right. Nuance that maybe AI isn't quite there with yet.
But there was a middle ground, too.
Yeah, User Crafted Thing 2006 made a good point for smaller projects, or if you just have zero budget for an artist, AI could give you something to work with. A basic visual guide. Better than nothing, perhaps.
And people were actually recommending specific AI tools for this.
They were. Saga, that's right on saga.com, was mentioned by the creators themselves, actually. They stressed it's made by filmmakers, understands cinematography, and even has script writing built in.
So, designed for the workflow.
Supposedly. Then shakecreative.ai came up a few times. Creative Sci recommended it for uploading a whole script and getting a storyboard out.
That sounds pretty powerful.
Yeah, though they did note current issues with keeping images consistent. Like, does a character look the same from shot to shot?
Okay. A common AI image problem.
Seems like it. But J-Boy Coffee Hour also praised it, called it a huge time saver, especially if you can define your characters beforehand.
And Pixar mentioned one too, right?
They did. Storyboarder.ai. They talked about its AI precision and this image-to-video and animatic feature.
An animatic. Like a moving storyboard.
Essentially, yeah. Streaming the storyboard images together, adding basic timing, maybe some temp sound or music. It gives you a rough feel for the film's pacing.
Oh, wow. So AI could help automate that.
That's the idea. Converting static images into a dynamic sequence could seriously speed up pre-visualization. You get a better sense of the film's rhythm early on.
That sounds incredibly useful, like seeing a mini movie before you shoot.
Exactly. But, the Reddit threads also had warnings.
Ooh. Like what?
User JSSJ worried that AI might not be good enough yet at clearly communicating the information needed in a storyboard. The camera angles, movement, acting cues.
Right, it's not just pretty pictures.
Not at all. And they worried you might spend more time fighting the AI to get what you want than it would take to just sketch it or hire someone.
So the takeaway is AI is a tool, needs guidance.
Precisely. It's not pushing a button and getting perfect storyboards. Not yet, anyway. It's an assistant.
Okay. Makes sense. What about the script itself? Screenwriting, AI getting involved there too.
Seems so. There was a discussion over in our screenwriting about this.
Yeah. What were they saying?
Well, the original poster mentioned using Claude, the free version, for things like formatting help and bouncing ideas around.
Okay. Sort of like an assistant again?
Right. But they hit the free limits pretty quick, and we're looking for more dedicated tools.
And did people suggest any?
Oh, yeah. A few names popped up. Nolan AI was mentioned by one user.
Okay.
Someone else suggested Millies.co, but noted it was still pretty early stage.
Still developing.
Right. Then iScreenwriter.com got a shout out from Glass Frog Studio for helping with writer's block and speeding things up, letting you control how much AI is involved.
Customizable, that's good.
Plot.ai was another one mentioned. And Pixera brought up Squibbler, saying its AI helps generate scripts with a natural flow and offers creative flexibility.
So quite a few options starting to appear. For you listening, the idea of using AI to blast through writer's block, that's got to be tempting.
Definitely. And one user, TimeCat0, had a really interesting idea, an AI script or dialogue rewriter specifically for standardization.
Oh, like making sure everything fits industry format or tone.
Exactly. That could be another way AI streamlines things, polishing that foundational document.
Interesting. Okay, moving beyond the purely creative. What about the heavy logistics? Budgeting, scheduling.
Right. Now, sources like that Disrupting Film Production article didn't give us specific tool names, unfortunately.
Oh, right.
But the title itself tells you something, right? AI's potential in these complex, traditionally very time-consuming areas is being recognized.
So for you wanting efficient knowledge, the idea of AI optimizing budgets, maybe finding smarter ways to schedule shoots, That's pretty appealing.
Hugely appealing. Imagine more accurate cost projections, more realistic timelines from the get-go. That saves headaches down the line.
And same idea for casting, I guess, that AI revolutionizes casting, source points that way.
Yeah, again, no specific tools named in our materials, but it clearly signals that AI is being explored there too. Maybe for scanning actor databases, finding matches based on detailed criteria, things like that.
Streamlining another complex process.
Potentially. And we should also mention character development.
Right, Simon Raw's article.
Using AI to enhance character development.
Yeah.
Again, no deep dive on tools in our sources, but it shows another part of pre-production where people are looking at AI for assistance.
Maybe helping writers flesh out backstories, motivations.
Could be. Helping to build richer, more complex characters.
Okay, let's shift gears slightly. Let's talk about Orlando Delbert and Pollyanna's tear-soaked battlefields of Hollywood.
Right, and the Hollywood Unapologetic YouTube channel and podcast that go with it.
What perspective does this bring to our discussion?
It brings a really grounded, almost back-to-basics perspective on filmmaking fundamentals. Delbert emphasizes learning the core skills.
And he uses an interesting example, right? Fortnite.
He does. He talks about how creating fan films using Fortnite gameplay footage is actually a great way to learn fundamental filmmaking. He outlines these 7 key points.
Like what?
Things like having a clear concept, a solid plan, understanding your resources, even if it's just game assets, knowing your audience. Basic stuff, but crucial.
And he argues these apply to any film project.
Absolutely. Whether it's a blockbuster or a fan film made in a game engine, those principles are universal.
And how does this connect back to pre-production and AI?
Well, it powerfully reinforces the idea that no matter the tools, whether it's traditional methods or cutting-edge AI, that core planning and vision stage, which is pre-production, is non-negotiable.
So even in a digital fan film, you still need that pre-production mindset.
Exactly. You need the plan, the vision, the strategy. And this ties perfectly into what Pixar was saying, too.
Which was?
Just hammering home the need for detailed planning, a comprehensive plan covering concept, storyboard, script, budget, schedules, and crucially reviewing that plan meticulously.
Catching things before they become problems during the shoot.
Right. It underlines that technology doesn't replace the thinking. AI can assist, maybe speed things up, offer new ways to visualize.
But it doesn't do the fundamental planning for you.
Not yet, no.
Yep.
It's a tool to assist filmmakers, especially in those time-sucking early stages. It's not a replacement for human creativity, judgment, and logistical wrangling.
But that assistance could spark ideas, right? Those aha moments.
For sure. Seeing an AI-generated storyboard, even a rough one, might trigger something. Or using an AI writer to break a block could lead you down a new path. It's about collaboration, really.
Filmmakers learning to work with these tools.
Exactly. To enhance their own process, manage the complexity more efficiently.
Key takeaways.
Well, we've definitely seen AI making inroads in pre-production. Ideation, storyboarding, screenwriting, those are clear areas.
With lots of potential bubbling up in budgeting, scheduling, casting, even character development.
And crucially, this is a landscape that's changing, like really fast. The tools are getting better, more integrated.
So for you listening, it's worth keeping an eye on this stuff.
Definitely. We encourage you to maybe check out some of the tools we mentioned: Saga, ShayCreative.ai, Storyboarder.ai, Squibbler, Nolan AI, Melly's, Plot.ai. See what they can do.
And also look into resources like Orlando Delbert's Hollywood Unapologetic channel and podcast. Grab the Pollyanna book. Get that blend of fundamental understanding and awareness of new tech.
Think about how these tools and principles could help your own creative work, or just deepen your appreciation for the filmmaking process.
Which leads us to a final thought, something for you to chew on.
As AI gets woven more deeply into pre-production, how are the jobs of directors, writers, producers, storyboard artists, casting directors, how are those roles going to change?
Yeah, and what completely new ways of creating, maybe collaborating, might emerge that we, can't even really picture right now.
It's a fascinating question for the future of film.
Absolutely. Well, thanks so much for joining us into the vital world of pre-production and the rapidly evolving role AI is playing within it. You can find more insights on navigating the entertainment industry and achieving success in Orlando Delbert's work, including his book, Pollyanna's Tear-Soaked Battlefields of Hollywood, a survival guide against the cynicism and the hypocritical, and of course, the Hollywood Unapologetic platform. And always remember, you are the key to your own success. You are the new Hollywood generation.
Be informed, be prepared, and most importantly, be great.
That's it. Be great. Good luck out there.
See you next time.